Abdelrahman Milad, a notorious people smuggler who shuttled migrants from Libya to Europe, has been assassinated near Tripoli. Milad was once a high-ranking member of the Libyan coastguard, with such a position thought to have been of help to him when he began his smuggling operations. The trafficker was killed in the town of Sayad, near a naval academy he once led. Photos released by local media show the Toyota Land Cruiser he was thought to have been travelling in, reporting that it was bullet-ridden and that Milad had died inside. Only 34 years old, he had become notorious internationally for smuggling everything from fuel to people. Interpol had issued a red notice against him back in 2018, after the UN Security Council sanctioned him and other trafficking networks. They described him as the head of the Coast Guard unit in Zawiya that is consistently linked with violence against migrants and other human smugglers from rival groups. UN experts had claimed Milad and his colleagues were directly involved in the sinking of migrant boats using firearms. Libyan authorities arrested him in October 2020, but they then released him and named Milad the head of the Coast Guard his duties to stop illegal immigration. Local elites were furious about the assassination. Abdallah Al-Lafi, a member of Libya's presidential council, vowed that those responsible would not escape divine punishment. The Libyan Prime Minister did not comment. The North African country has become a migration hub since the country descended into chaos amid the Arab Spring, which resulted in the toppling and killing of dictator Muammar Gaddafi in 2011. Italy is now in constant receipt of migrants who set off from Libya, who then make their way through Europe. Keir Starmer has announced a raft of measures he says will combat illegal immigration from Africa.
We are resetting our approach, and that's been central today. We are going to smash the gangs, break their business model, and secure our borders. And we'll do this not by committing taxpayer money to gimmicks, but with practical solutions that are in line with international law. As Director of Public Prosecutions, I saw the work that can be done across borders to bring terrorists to justice and break up their networks. And I simply do not accept that we can't do the same with organised migration crime. And we started that work here today. We're increasing the UK presence at Europol in The Hague to play our full part in the European Migrant Smuggling Centre. We've agreed new cooperation arrangements with partners like Slovenia and Slovakia to disrupt organised crime, and with our new Border Security Command. We are going to work with our European partners to share intelligence, data, expertise, and put the gangs out of business. But to stop illegal migration, we must also tackle it at source. So today I'm announcing £84 million of new funding for projects across Africa and the Middle East. That includes humanitarian and health support, skills training, help with job opportunities, and access to education. This is a vital part of gripping the migration crisis.
Yet the migration crisis continues to blight Europe, with immigration becoming a leading concern among voters, and the issue is propelling right-wing parties to record levels of support.
German politics has seen a shock result, though I'm not entirely sure it's a huge shock for everybody, at the weekend as the right-wing alternative for Germany won in the eastern state of Thuringia.
Very good. Now the AfD won almost a third of the vote, putting them 9 points ahead of the Conservative CDU and far in front of Germany's three governing parties. Now, this is a result which will be a massive blow for the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, who's labelled it as bitter. However, it has little hope of forming a government in Thuringia because all the other parties are unlikely to want to work with the AfD. So it's very interesting indeed what's happening over in Germany.
OK, so we are now joined by Editor-in-Chief News, Julian Reichelt, who is going to discuss how this will affect Europe. Thank you very much for joining us. Great to have you on the show. Now, just last week, I think it was actually, our Prime Minister was meeting your Chancellor, Olaf Scholz, and he was talking about progressives of Europe unite. And then, you know, here we go. The AfD secure a massive win. Are progressives on the way out in Germany, do you think?
Oh, they certainly are. I mean, I was on your show a few days ago discussing this meeting between Chancellor Olaf Scholz and your Prime Minister, and that they were talking about a big agreement they wanted to sign together. And what I told you is, you know, Olaf Scholz will be on his way out a few days from now. And that was delivered to him yesterday. Major blow for the administration here in Germany. So the right-wing AfD in Thuringia, just to put this into perspective, collected twice as many votes as the three parties that make up the whole administration, the coalition here in Germany. They were completely blown away. Two of them actually were dropped out of parliament because they didn't cross a 5% threshold. So they're not even in parliament anymore. So that is a major change. It's a major change to Olaf Scholz's government. It's a major blow to him. It's a major blow to his progressive and pro-migration policies, because that's what it was all about. This election was not so much about the AfD or the character standing for the AfD. It was about one topic only, and that is illegal migration.
And that is the AfD's policy platform, is it not? So what are they putting forward to the German people? Is it just immigration?
That's pretty much everything. I mean, there are components that come with it. It's housing, you know, it's the social system, everything. It's crime, everything that is affected by migration. But their main talking point is illegal migration. Just to remind your viewers, it's been 300,000 people coming into Germany illegally, mainly from Islamist countries. Another 300,000 will be coming this year. And it has become a huge topic with, you know, crime shooting up, terrorist attacks just a few days ago, 3 people being murdered by an illegal immigrant from Syria. So that's what the AfD is all about. But that is also what the CDU is about, the, you know, conservative party. The thing with this AfD victory is this: depending on where you stand politically, the good news is nothing will happen because they will not govern. All the other parties will build a coalition around them. The bad news is nothing will happen. You know, the thing about illegal migration will not change because the conservatives have solemnly promised not to work with the AfD. That, however, would be the only majority for what most people by now desperately want: less migration, a protected border. They will not work together. So the CDU, the conservatives, are now looking for another coalition on the very left. You know, they are now working with the heirs to the former East German State Party, the former communists. Suddenly, the conservatives are turning towards the communists just to prevent the AfD getting into power, and basically the people from getting what they want.
People, so, you summed it up. It's, you know, there's a vote on this stuff, and politicians can't just keep ignoring it.
Yeah, I mean, the way this has been framed in the British press is that this is the first time a far-right party in Germany has won a key election since the Nazi era. That's how it's in the press. Those are the headlines that this is making. Is that a fair assessment of what we're seeing here? Is it a Nazi-era style party?
Well, I would always, you know, I love the British tabloid press. I love the British press, and I understand that they will never miss an opportunity on making a Nazi story out of something. And I get that, and I understand it. I'm a tabloid journalist, but this party is a you know, in some parts ugly, right-wing, anti-illegal immigration party. It has nothing to do with the German past. You know, making that comparison is obscene towards what has happened. It's pure relativism towards the German past. And obviously it is being framed like that to prevent people from getting what they desperately want. And not only AfD voters. You have majorities of 70, 80% who desperately ask the German government, regional, local governments to stop the flow of illegal migration to Germany because it's coming from Islamist country. It's male only, all the things we've been discussing for years. And it's violent. It is violent. It is too violent. But you know, obviously this immigration is going against a kind of a dogma of the political left, that, you know, migration is something good in itself. So they will try everything to prevent people from getting what they wanted. And that, of course, you know, is their most favorite tactic, making these, you know, Nazi comparisons, calling them Nazis. It is not a Nazi thing to stop illegal immigration. And it's not an AfD thing only. It has become, you know, the main demand of a vast, literally the largest majority I have ever seen, and I've covered politics for a while, in Germany for something. We're, you know, around 70 to 80% protect those borders.
Nicholas Dunning, GB News.